The fern had heard the sun was getting weaker. Apparently all the plants and animals could feel it. The climbing ivy saw less of its light. The flaking arbutus noticed its rays were less warm. The fern, laying on the bottom of the forest floor, didn't notice anything. One day he spoke to a great pine tree. "Should we be worried?" "No," replied the pine. "It still shines. I have more than enough light to survive." This did not comfort the fern. He was a lot smaller than the pine, hidden away from the sky. The fern lay still, growing more and more anxious. The night was cold. Light rain pattered on his leaves. He felt the forest grow more quiet. He spotted a gray squirrel darting amongst the brush. "Have you noticed the sun getting weaker? It is dying." The fern started to panic. "How do you know?" The squirrel looked back, unable to speak, and bounced away. It was a cool day. Light rays that broke through the canopy illuminated the insects and particles in the air like soft, long strings. One ray moved right next to the fern. The fern saw this as an opportunity. "Why are you dying? What will happen to us?" asked the fern. The sun shone down on the fern. The next day the fern talked to the other ferns along the forest floor. "We need to leave this place," said one of the ferns. They all seemed to be in agreement. The fern saw no other option. The next day the fern looked at the forest a little differently. The fern said goodbye to the great pine, the climbing ivy, and the flaking arbutus. The air was cool in the evening. A moving breeze blew the fern's seeds into the wind, away from everything he knew. The fern awoke to a small bird singing. He didn't recognize the song. He didn't know where he was. The trees were different here. There were no other ferns on the forest floor. The fern felt different. The air felt different on his leaves. His leaves felt different. He wondered why he was in a strange land as puffy snowflakes fell and melted on his leaves.
If the ladies were thrushes, well, I'd lie there for